So the Xiaomi Pad was released back in 2023 and we now have the Xiaomi Pad 7. So is it still worth it in 2025? There's a couple reasons that will make some people hesitate on this one, but let's talk about it. The price is going to be cheaper than when it first came out, of course, which is definitely one reason that would make this more tempting. It comes with 128 gigabytes of storage and 8 gigabytes of RAM for the base model. There's also a 256 gigabyte version as well. Just keep in mind there's no micro SD card slot on this tablet. The build quality though still feels and looks pretty nice compared to other tablets in this category. Even in 2025, you've got an 11-inch IPS LCD display at 1800 by 2800 resolution, up to 144 Hz refresh rate. It's not quite as bright as the new Xiaomi Pad 7, but it's still 550 nits, which I think is plenty bright enough for indoor use. It's also a nice size when traveling compared to some of the larger tablets that I've tested. Unfortunately, you don't get a fingerprint scanner on here, but that's also the case with the newer Xiaomi Pad 7. Battery life has been pretty good with this tablet, lasting about 7 hours before dying at 100% screen brightness in my typical battery drain test, which is a little above average compared to others I've tested. It should last a couple days with mixed use, especially once you turn the screen brightness down. When it comes to the software, this has been upgraded to Xiaomi HyperOS 2, but it's still on Android 14 instead of 15, which apparently it's not getting from what I've seen online. So that could be one of the biggest reasons for concern over this tablet. I did see it gets 3 years of security updates, but Xiaomi could definitely do better when it comes to software support, considering Samsung is now updating the new S10 FE series for 7 years. Overall, it still looks and feels very similar to the new Xiaomi Pad 7. You've got Google Discover left at the home screen, and it has a very similar layout as before. It's still kind of a mix of Android and iPadOS. I definitely like what they're doing overall. You also have Workstation on here, which is pretty similar to Samsung DeX if you want to be a little more productive. One advantage you get with the Xiaomi Pad 6 over some of the competition is it has video out, so you can use an HDMI adapter to connect to a TV, projector, or external monitor, which I think all tablets should have. It also works with the 2nd gen Xiaomi Smart Pen. Unfortunately, I don't have one to test on here. Performance-wise, the Snapdragon 870 still has plenty of power to do most of the things you would need to on a tablet, and it's still a nice step up from what you'll get on the Redmi Pad SE or Galaxy Tab A9 Plus. I also think gaming on here is fairly smooth when testing out games like PUBG Mobile and Asphalt Legends Unite, so it could be a good option for someone who wants to do some gaming. It's also a pretty good size to where you can still reach most of the things on the screen, so it's pretty comfortable to hold for longer gaming sessions. Nice thing is you've got a quad speaker setup with 2 speakers on each side with Dolby Atmos, so it's nice and loud. Actually sounds really good in person. Here's a quick sample to see if you can tell a difference between this and the Xiaomi Pad 7.
But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray. As you fade away.
When it comes to the cameras, it's kind of what you would expect for a tablet in this category, probably a little better than some of the competition. It's got a 13 megapixel on the back, 8 megapixel on the front. You can also shoot up to 4K resolution at 30 frames per second for video recording. Here's a few quick samples just to give you an idea of what to expect. I know for me, I feel this tablet is probably still worth it in 2025 for the most part. except when it comes to software updates. If you compare this to some of the more recent competition, I feel like this tablet still holds up pretty well in my opinion, even in 2025. It may just come down to what you're looking for, because it's not going to be better than the Xiaomi Pad 7 in performance or software updates. You may want to also check out the Redmi Pad Pro, which is sort of a larger version of this. But yeah, there's definitely some reasons that are going to make some people hesitate on whether this is still worth it in 2025. But if you like tablets, phones, and other tech, I know I've got a lot more comparisons that I'm working on, so you'll want to keep an eye out for those upcoming videos. So if you've made it this far into the video, you may want to say thanks by subscribing, and don't forget to give a thumbs up if this video was helpful. This is Brian from Fishbee Productions. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.